Hello friends, today we're going to be looking at the cinematography of Jomon T John in the song Shyamambaram from the movie Thattathin Maraythu. So, if we take this shot and let's analyze this shot, let's see what's going on here. So, we are trying to look at Isha Talwar's um, section of this scene. She's lit with some diffusion, so probably it's coming from that side. Um, it's just trying to fill in this area, but if you see there's not much contrast, it's just a flat kind of a look that he's gone for here. So there's a lot of fill from this side as well. Maybe he would have achieved it through the bounce from maybe from the pillow as well, but there's a lot going on here. Maybe if you look at the background as well, there's a lot of light going on there, so I think there's some sort of light so that it doesn't look too contrasty. It has to look flat, so that's what Jomon has done in that back portion of the shot. So it all doesn't share with one light, so probably there's a lot of lights going on in there. Moving on. Anyways, coming to this shot of Niven, we see that there is this huge little contrast going on there. So probably he's hidden a light with obviously a little bit of diffusion. That's probably hitting, and it's a little close. It's definitely it's got its sort of style going on there. So it's filling in this portion of this shot. Again, we see that it's not so contrasty, but yet there is some kind of a style going on there. Definitely, he has filled this portion as well, yet keeping the whole image flat. Moving on. So, when we look at this shot, what's the first thing that comes into our mind? It's like a really moody kind of a scene, um, atmospheric. So, there's a lot going on in the background. So, obviously, it's practicals. I mean, obviously, they haven't even planted it or something. They would have just seen this shop and they would have shot against it. So mainly, what we're seeing here is this sort of a light where um, it, it's definitely creating this rim kind of look just here, just on the edges for Nevin. Um, Almost like a street light sort of practical look that they have gone for maybe, and not much of uh, you know key light going on. It's just a backlight that Jomon has tried, which is a cool shot. So moving on. Okay, okay. This is actually a crazy shot. If you look at it, if you look at it, um, it must be like a simple looking shot, but if you look at it closely, look at this light. So everything else is cool. Everything else is cool. This is the reason why Jomon T John is where he is today. Any other film you see the bike shots, there's so much of darkness on the actor's face. How did he pull this off, right? So obviously his if this is the bike, he's definitely he's got some sort of a source from which is hidden from the bike behind the dashboard or whatever, that's hidden the face, and that's what creates so much of this special, and it differentiates his work. So it's interesting to see this kind of work. So that's great, and obviously everything else in the background just the normal. We see that here. We see that here, and interesting sort of work. So if you look at this shot, I don't know. I definitely am not the professional here, but when you look at this shot, what I see first is this sort of light that's going on here on her face, and that's rimming this actress as well. There's a lot of this ambience that's created, something related to sun or that kind of a source. That's what he went for, maybe. Definitely something to look at. Maybe a subtle thing, but definitely something's going on here. Um, let's see what happens. This is definitely, this region's just a bounce, or maybe they've got a unit and then they've just diffused it. Crazy. I've always been curious about this particular kind of shots that come in. So it's not really so easy to work it like naturally, or it just doesn't happen. Most of the time, the DP has to light it up, and definitely they've gotten some kind of a really high power unit with like those Fresnel type of lighting. They've hit it from the back, and that's what's going on in this shot. Definitely something to look into. Definitely something to look and maybe absorb from. And the interesting part is, how did he fill this part? So definitely they've got some bounce that's sort of really filling in those shadows for the actress's face. But the main sort of look is just from this back edge lighting. Amazing. Just, this is simple work, but this is powerful work. Next shot. So good. So cool. Look at this shot here, and we see the first thing that's happening is this sort of sunlit kind of this environment. Definitely, if they've got like uh, haze or like fog in there, just to, obviously, practically the restaurant will have some sort of smoking kind of thing. Obviously, they're cooking in there, but moreover, it's this atmospheric kind of feel that um, brings up this whole scene and maybe differentiates a bit. If we look at this, we shouldn't really like neglect this. This portion has been lit up equally. What I think they've just done it so that it really doesn't create a lot of contrast, and it doesn't take your eye from what you're supposed to be looking into. So interesting setup. This shot particularly, if you look at it, they've cut to the close up. So it's just, if you look back a bit, they've not got that edge going on a lot. It's dark on this side, but when they cut to the next shot, it's really visible. They've changed a lot of lighting in here. They've thrown in this same sunlit kind of edge lighting, yet filling in, so that they don't lose a lot of detail. Some sort of floor, I don't know, just some light to just fill in his face and not make it too dark. Okay, setup, crazy setup again. Again, looking at it, not so like, if you call it like, not some groundbreaking kind of stuff, but it's simple and it works. We've got some kind of shafts of light coming out from this window, perfectly lit. They've got this fog so that they can really bring in this sort of streaks of light. He's filled in from the front, and he's getting keyed from the side, maybe reflected light as well. You never know. But he definitely has this shadow that's coming out. So definitely got a lot of key coming in from here, just to shoot, just to see how it's going. Definitely, if you look at his face though, it's filled in. So there's a lot of reflection as well from here. They've bounced this sort of just to fill in. You never want to lose any detail, especially when you're shooting in film. So when they cut to this shot suddenly, what we see here is definitely this sort of cutout shaped light. So if you see, this side is dark and this side is bright, and obviously they've got that edge sort of shaft lighting going on already from the previous window, whatever they've set up. But this is when they came to the close up, they would have flagged the light. They would have cut the light here and here. It sort of created this kind of effect. Cool. Just, it's a song, you can do whatever. One thing to notice here is, even though there's nothing special going on in the frame in terms of lighting, look at the kind of staging of the actors, or kind of framing and composition that's going on here. That's what makes this film different. And the colors and everything that's going on in the frame. So hats off to Vineeth Sreenivasan for giving this kind of treatment in for the frame. So that's that. Similar shots going on here. What's interesting though is the fact that if you look at this, Niven Pauly, or I forgot his name, the character name, but Niven is literally, this is some sort of an artistic thing. If you look at it, Niven is in this orange lighting, and Isha is in this white sort of fluorescent kind of lighting, or just almost daylight-ish lighting. If you see, there's a separation from them, and is maybe Jomon T John uses it to like convey that they're like different in different worlds, and Niven is looking into this white, or not white in the sense, just a different world, this pure world. Not to be too philosophical, but it just creates a separation between the characters. I mean, also obviously looks sexy. Okay, we're getting this first sort of crazy night shot where he's with his friends for the first time. So looking at this frame, you see the first thing is the key. Here's the key. It's easy. Come on. It's just a diffused light going in. But that's not what makes it different. This scene is different because of the colors in it. The set design has put in a lot of red. I mean, obviously it has to show the sort of party color or whatever, but look at the practicals going on. Obviously they've added that. There's this sort of light that fills into that logo of their party, and it's overall a balanced image, and that's what matters. So, but the rest of here, the night scenes are just lost in detail, but that's all right. It's shot in film, nobody cares. Okay, damn. Now this is a shot that's really interesting. How did they get this like crazy? They've hit it from the back definitely, and they've got something over here that hits diffusingly, or if you will, on Niven, and sort of lights it up. So the edge, and then this atmospheric separation. There are a lot of layering in his work, which is crazy. So that's the end of this analysis. So like and subscribe if you like this channel. Please support. Comment down which video I should do next, or which song, or which film. Love to hear the feedback. I'd love to make more of these. So thank you for watching. See you in the next episode.